Keyword cannibalization. Keyword cannibalization is when a single website unintentionally targets the same keyword across multiple pages. This is a little different from the last video where you have two pieces of similar content on your website and you want to combine them to make one superior piece of content. Keyword cannibalization is literally when you have two pages on your website competing for the same keyword. As a result, Google is not sure which one to rank. One day it could rank article 1 on page 1, and then the next day it can rank article 2 on page 1. What this results in is you seeing massive ranking fluctuations across both pages literally every day. When you spot this, you have two options. The first is to de-optimize one of those pages to stop it competing, and the second is to 301 redirect one of those pages to the other. However, before you can do any of this, we need to know how you can identify keyword cannibalization in the first place. So let's head over to SEMrush and I'll show you a live example of how you can spot keyword cannibalization and how you can fix it. So once you're on SEMrush, what you want to do is enter in your website URL. So for the purpose of this training video, I'm going to be using this website URL, which is called whitehartweddingvenue.co.uk. Just to confirm, this is not my website, I don't own it. It's just one I came across in my local area, as I actually live in Essex too. And as you can see, this website is also targeting Essex. So let's go ahead and paste in this website URL and click search. And then once the information has loaded, you want to go over to organic research on the left hand side. And then once all the data has loaded, you want to go over to positions. Now, one really important thing to know is because the website we are looking at is based in the UK, we know that because it ends in .co.uk, which is obviously United Kingdom, you want to go ahead and make sure you have the right database selected. At the moment, it has the US selected and there's currently 85 keywords that this website appears for in the United States. However, as we know the website is targeting the UK, we want to go ahead and make sure we have UK selected so we can see all 217 of those keywords. So once the information has loaded, we can see all of those keywords below here. However, spotting keyword cannibalization within SEMrush is a little bit difficult. So what we need to do is actually export all this data and review it in Excel. So let's go ahead and click export and then make sure we have all selected. And I'm going to go for Excel as a file format. So let's go ahead and open the file we've just downloaded. So once you open the file, it's going to look pretty similar to this. Again, we don't need all the information we have on it. All we need is the keyword, the position, the search volume, and the URL. So let's go ahead and delete the other column. So we'll delete column C. We do not need that in the previous position. We don't need the keyword difficulty. That can go as well. We don't need the CPC, and every other column after the URL can also be deleted. So let's go ahead and delete those. Let's expand our keyword column a little bit. We have our position. Let's just make that all to the left. The same with the search volume, and we'll expand the box right here so we can see the full URL. So essentially, these are the 4 columns that we need. So once you've tidied up your spreadsheet, what you need to do is select the first column, which is going to be your keyword, and then filter that by A to Z or Z to A, it doesn't really matter. What this is going to do is going to sort all your keywords in alphabetical order. Now, when it comes to spotting keyword cannibalization, what we want to look for is multiple occurrences of the same keyword, like we have right here, your Essex wedding, and then we need to look for 2 different URLs that appear for the same keyword. So as you can see, we have the first one in row 2, your Essex wedding, and the URL which Google returns sometimes is whitehartweddingvenue.co.uk/Essex wedding barn. For the same keyword, Google also returns another URL, which is a minimalist chick wedding in Essex. So as you can see, we have the same keyword, but Google is returning 2 different URLs. So this is a prime example of keyword cannibalization. What's interesting to note as well is that the first keyword sometimes ranks in position 14 and the second keyword sometimes ranks in position 13. So by the looks of it, Google seems to favorite this URL just a tiny bit over this URL. However, what's even more important to note is that neither of these pages are on page 1 for this keyword. So what we can easily do to improve our SEO and to improve our visibility is to de-optimize one of these pages so we only have one page targeting this keyword. This is going to make it way much more clearer to Google which page is relevant for this keyword, and you're much more likely to get a higher ranking in Google and increase your visibility for this specific keyword. Now, when it comes to de-optimizing your page for a keyword, it's literally the opposite of what you do when you do on-page SEO. So you don't want to put your keyword in the title tag, you don't want to have your keyword in a URL, you don't want your keyword in the H1 tag, you don't want it in the H2 tag, and so on and so on. This way you're going to make it super clear to Google what page is targeting what keyword. Now we can also go through the other keywords and find more instances of this, and I've just found another 3 very easily. Row 33, 34 and 35, you can see the keyword is all the same, White Hart Great Yeldham Sunday Lunch, and Google is returning 3 different URLs. So for one search, it returns a barisserie menu, for another search, it returns a restaurant URL, and for another search, it returns a Sunday menu. Now, if you look at the keyword and the search intent behind the keyword, people are looking for White Hart Great Yeldham, so this is the name of the place, and they're looking for the Sunday lunch. So really and truly, this is the URL that Google should be showing. The one which is about the Sunday menu, which is going to contain details about the Sunday lunch. These other 2 URLs are irrelevant and is actually going to hinder the ranking of this page. And what's even more interesting to note is that if you look at the ranking position for this URL, you can see this is the one that has the highest ranking in Google. The other 2 URLs are ranking in position 2 and in position 3. So again, to get the highest position and to get the top spot in Google, they need to de-optimize these 2 pages, so this is the one that Google always returns to users. So that is essentially how you can diagnose your website for keyword cannibalization, and of course you can go ahead and fix that yourself just by de-optimizing the other pages. That's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video.